Hello, it's Austin Brain. Welcome to Web and Graphics Design. And today I'm gonna be giving you a quick tutorial on using Xampp. This is actually an introduction video to Xampp or to Xampp, PHP, and MySQL. So I'm gonna give you a tutorial now. To get the Xampp application or software, you go over to Apache and Friends. Let me type it in for you all to see. Friends.org. Sorry for the error. Friends.org. Now you're gonna enter. Now it's gonna take you straight to the website, and over the website, as you can see, the software is actually available on 3 OS over here. Major OS, which is the Windows, the Linux, and the Mac, and the OS X, which is for the Macintosh. So I'm using a Windows PC, so I'll be downloading this. If you're using a Linux, whatever distro, the distribution you're using, you're gonna be downloading this. And if you're using Macintosh, Apple laptop, you're gonna be using this, or Apple desktop. Now, if you click on it, as you can see, it brings up a download. I already got the download file. I downloaded it a long time ago, and it's installed on my system already. The installation is quite simple. It's a very simple process. You don't need to check off anything, or you just need to keep accepting and next, so like that till it's done. So right now, after you've installed it, to ask you if you should open control panel, and when you open the control panel, and if it doesn't ask that, you can go over to your search and search for Xampp. As you can see over here, there's the control panel. So mine is already opened. Once your Xampp opens for the first time, you're gonna no process will actually run automatically. You have to click on the start for it to run for Apache and MySQL. For this tutorial, making use of the Apache and MySQL processes. So now I want to set Apache and MySQL to auto run. Let me show you. Once it's open, once I click on the program on the control panel, it opens. Now you notice that my Apache and Xampp and MySQL, will run automatically. These two modules will start automatically. As you can see, started automatically, very fast and smart. Now this configuration is not set by default, but you can actually configure it by going over to this config button over here. Not this, but this, the one with the spanner. It's already there. Now you click on it, and it's going to open up a new window, which normally these two won't be checked under the auto start of modules, but you have to check them. Or you can also check FileZilla, Mercury, or Tomcat. Depends on the module you want to you make use of a lot. So I only make use of this Apache and MySQL, so I don't need this other one. So I'm gonna, once you're done checking these two, then you can save. Now if you open it, if you close it, I just want to show you, you don't need to close the control panel. You can easily just start it manually, but I just want to show you that it's automatically starting. So once that is running, I'm going to show you how to locate your database, how to open your database in your browser. As in your database right now, what Xampp is doing is actually enabling you to host uh, your pre-made website or the website you're actually working on in PHP on your local host machine, and that means you can actually view them and you can run them. And Xampp also gives a user interface for you to be able to create, edit, and also manipulate data, database tables, columns, etc. um, it's just the fastest way for for um, for uh, for a programmer to create databases and the rest. And instead of typing a long code of query and the rest. Okay, I'm gonna go over to go to the database. You're gonna first type in localhost, as I told you earlier. It's hosted on your local machine. As you can see, //php. As you can see, my admin carefully. Make sure it's spelled correctly. No, it won't open. Now you click enter and make sure that these two processes are actually running. Apache is responsible for PHP and MySQL is responsible for the MySQL database. If I stop this localhost, let me show you what I mean. Now stop that process. Now if I reload this, you're going to see that it's not going to actually access denied. This is what you get for not for that process not to be running. Now if I start running, now it works. Now let me show you with Apache. Let me show you that nothing is going to run because Apache is responsible for this localhost my admin pages. So as you can see, unable to connect. That means it can connect to the localhost server, which is made possible by the Apache server. Now if we reload, as you can see, so that is why the Apache and MySQL modules need to be running. For those of you that are actually thinking that they are not necessary to be running or whatsoever you're thinking, make sure they are running. And if you have older version of PHP or MySQL softwares that you downloaded from PHP's forum or whatsoever, you better uninstall it and make sure you go to your task manager and end the task. I'm going to show you their names on the task manager, and you're going to see the processes, what they call them over here. Now over here, Apache is named it Apache HTTP server. PHP will actually be those softwares will actually be named PHP normally, but in Xampp, for the Apache, it's named Apache server. If you stop this, if I end this task right now, it's gonna show in my control panel. It's gonna say unexpected error and the rest of them. So the MySQL. Look at the task for the MySQL D. Now, if this is already running before you start your process, it's not gonna allow you to be able to start this MySQL process over here. It's gonna be interfering, so you have to end it also. Just end the both of them, and then you can start this too. I'm just saying, if you have an older PHP that automatically runs auto start when your system boots, so it won't interfere with your local host machine and be sending you to the wrong database in case you have Xampp, or in case you have WAMP or WAMP developer server on your system. So it won't be sending you to a different local host database. So now what I need to do now is to create a new database. You're going to click on this new, which has this icon over here, this cylinder with a plus sign. And then we're going to create a new database. Let's call it Austin DB. Now it's asking us to create a table since we know tables in this database, found in a database. When you create a database, it's the database is actually like the external structure. Now you can't actually keep it's actually like an external structure, or just like a skeleton, or like poles actually mounted like canopy and the rest of them. It can't actually hold the data, the it can't actually hold the raw data. It can't actually hold the raw data. So you need to create tables and columns, as in the columns will be found inside the table. You have to create the tables and columns before data can actually be stored in the specific slot. That is the columns. The raw data are usually stored in the columns found in the tables, found which is found in the database. Yeah, that's how it works. So our next tutorial, I'm going to show you how I'm going to show you with the diagram of how that works. So for now, I'm going to create a table. I'm going to name it user info or something else. Okay, I'll call it user info. User info. You can choose the number of columns you want. I'm going to just make use of 4. The minimum is 1. I just need 4. So you can see I got 4 columns over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to name the first one member ID. You name it whatsoever you like. I just named it member ID, so I'll actually know that what I'm talking about is the the primary key, because I'm going to make this a primary key. um, if you click on the auto increment, check it, it's going to actually bring up this pop-up, which is an add index pop-up. It automatically make this a primary key, because auto increment, columns that are actually responsible for auto increments are the ones that actually have the primary key. So I'm going to type in full name here, and I'm going to change the type. This type over here is what I call the data type that can be stored in this database. The data type that can be stored in the member ID actually be integers, as you can see, int, that's integer, which are whole numbers. Integers are just whole numbers. 3 is an integer, 3.2 ain't an integer. 3.2 is not an integer, in case you're getting confused, in case you're trying to store 3.2 in your database. It ain't an integer. If you want to store that, you have to use the text. So on the full name, I'm going to make use of the text. I won't be using the varchar, because the varchar has some, it has length limits and the rest. For the text, you don't need to specify the length and values and the rest of them. I don't need to specify that. It's limitless. So I always make use of the text rather than the varchar. It's a personal choice, so use whatever you like, either the varchar or the text. And in the varchar, you make sure you specify the length. That's the amount of characters that can actually be stored in that particular column. So the email, same thing. I'll use the text. You can still make use of the varchar, so you limit the length, but you can never tell how long the name will be, so that's why you make use of the text. And this other one, password, I'm going to still make use of text, because it's going to be hashed and solved into, and it's going to produce a series of random numbers and letters, and it will be stored here in this column. And yeah, over here you can see add one or one or two columns. If you're not satisfied with the 4 that is here, you can, as you can see, 2 extra here. You can put in whatever name you want, but I'm done with the 4. I'm cool with the 4. Okay, so as you can see, this is the structure of the table. The member ID column the member ID, full name, email, and password. These are the columns found in the user info table, which is under Austin DB database. So make sure you get this in your head. User info is the table, and tables are inside databases, and columns are inside tables, family tables. These columns are actually like it's actually a form of categorizing your data, like giving different rooms to each data, or a space of memory, something like that. Because this, like for example, this is a prison. Like the whole prison is database. Now inside that prison will be the building, or the cells. The building that actually contains different cells is the table. Now those cells inside the building where the lockup prisoners are the columns, which store the we store the prisoners. These columns are actually the ones that store the raw data. That means wheresoever your, like if you post your user inputs of the full name and the rest, it's actually going to be saved in these columns that are found in the table. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I meant by that. So when you're over structure, you can actually you can make some changes if you want. You can change the name, you can change a whole lot of things. The data type that can be stored, you can auto increment, but I won't be doing any of that. Just that. And you can also drop, which means delete. As you can see, it has a minus sign here. So you can make any of them primary or unique key index. And if you want to actually make changes in bulk, or if you want to make multi changes, you just check the ones you want to. As you can see, I didn't actually select email. Let me show you. Now it's actually going to bring out this tree. Remember, ID, full name, and password. There's no email over here. As you can see. Now if I say check all, now if I say make changes, I send it brings out email. You just make changes to the selected ones. Using here, it's gonna do it with the columns are actually selected, but here using it to that particular column. So now I'm going to show you how to export a database. Now to export a database, make sure you click on the name of the database over here. Click on that database, then it brings up this. It will show you the tables. It will list out the tables that are under that database, and I only have one table, as you can see written here, which is user info. So I'm not going to click on anything here. I'm not going to click on the table. I'll just go over to the export tab. Then you don't need to touch all of this if you don't know what it is. You don't need to do all that. Just leave it as it is. Then click on go. Then it's going to bring out a download option, just like downloading a file with your Mozilla or whatever browser you're using. It's the same process. It's like downloading it on the server. So this, you can see it saved it here. You can actually go over here and still find the file. Just so now it's saved over here in my downloads folder. And I'm going to show you how to import. So first of all, don't think that because I actually exported this database, you think that if I want to import, I just need to import the database to give it this same database name and everything. No, it's not going to do that. It's only going to contain the tables and the data inside the columns. If there are data inside the columns, it contain those. It won't contain the name, as in it's not going to create. It's not going to automatically create a database and place it inside. You have to create the database yourself. So I'll just call this a null database. Then I'll come over here. You don't need to create any table. if you can create tables if you like, but I just want to show you how to import. So I'll go straight to the import tab and I'll browse. Now if my file is bound here, as you can see, austin.db.sql is the extension for MySQL database file extension. So you're gonna click on this. Now you don't need to make any changes here. Let's click on go. As you can see, it has been imported successfully. As you can see under the Austin DB, you can see the user info table, same as the null. As you can see the null we just created. It has the user info table, and if you enter into the user info table structure, as you can see the four columns with the same data type and everything auto increments, where in the lost it was actually stored, and now and now you can use it whenever you like. In case you uninstalled your Xampp, you can actually make sure you always save your database files. In case you uninstall your Xampp somehow or something happened, your system crashed, you have to install the software over again. You won't lose the file, so you just have to import the whole database, so you won't lose the whole database structure. Start thinking about how it was before. And if you're a geek or whatever, and you like coding much, and you don't want to make use of all these UI, you can go over to click on this SQL and do whatever you want to do. First of all, click on this, and you can click on this. Now you can do whatever you want to do in the database. Or you can click on this if you want to make changes to the column. As you can see, you can select, you can insert, you can update the columns found inside this table. But that's not a problem right now. So tomorrow, our next tutorial, I'm gonna tell you about securing your localhost server, and it's quite an easy step. I'm going to show you how to create a password for your localhost server, and we're gonna run our first PHP program. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment. I need your feedbacks on this video, because it's the first Xampp tutorial I have online. So your feedbacks will actually be necessary, and your comments. Make sure you do that for me, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, because a whole load of materials are actually going to be coming out before the year runs out. Thank you for watching.